I have a really big question for you as an ambitious professional working a full-time job at your heaviest weight and you've been struggling with losing the weight and gaining the weight back for decades. How much do you think your environment, like your kitchen setup, your digital setup, even people in your social circle are affecting the bad habits that you really want to break to lose the weight and keep it off? Well, if you're someone like me who've been waking up and you really want to hide away all the chips and the good sweet stuff and even the ice cream in the back of your fridge, and you're even setting out your gym clothes in the morning, and you want to be prepared that you also turning off all the social media notifications. Well, you see, I found some success with that for a couple of days, but eventually I just snapped and I just found out all the chips, ice cream back, and I even forgot my gym clothes, and I was just enabling all the social media notifications. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also turn on the bell to get notified whenever I'm making a new video about weight loss advice every single week. I found that when I was trying to lose the 60 pounds and successfully keeping it off for 13 years, the success for me was lying in that I was creating an environment that sets me up for good. And when I was talking with my clients who are in the beginning of their journey, they were saying that they have a lot of bad habits they want to break, but they are also relying a lot on willpower and not having an environment that helps them. So that's why they are not having success with losing weight. So in this video, I'll tell you about 3 habits that is specific about being minimalistic and also how it can help you create an environment for successful people so you can lose the weight for good. So the first habit for me was creating a successful environment, which basically just means that if you're someone who is very minimalistic and want to set up the environment, you want to only have foods in your kitchen that is aligning with the purpose of you actually fueling yourself with the right energy so you can have more energy to focusing on your work, hitting the gym, doing your 10,000 steps a day. So I had a lot of junk food, chips in my fridge. I was just throwing 90% of that away because there was so much processed food that was not giving me a lot of energy. It was just like eating empty calories, so it's not being helpful. And also, if you are having constantly so many temptations in your fridge, it can derail you. For example, it derailed me a lot from achieving my weight loss goal. So I was also just making sure that I have a lot of canned sodas with sugars. I was removing that, replacing that with alternative like sugar-free cokes, and also a lot of lean chicken breast and other lean protein sources, because it's going to help you fuel yourself with, if you are working out a lot and you have a high protein diet, 45% of your daily calories come from protein, you will not only build a lot of muscle, but if you're in a calorie deficit, you will burn more fat compared to the muscle. And also having a lot of whole foods. I was someone who always ate white pasta, white bread, so I just changed that up to increase my fiber to 20 or 40 grams, and then I had whole foods and also a lot of veggies, because veggies are very low in calories and high in density, and also a lot of fiber, so it was filling me up a lot. So these were some of the things that was definitely helping. And to increase the, for example, the hunger levels, I was drinking 4 or 5 liters of water and also having lots of black coffee in my kitchen, because it's something that's going to also reduce the cravings and hunger levels. And I also had like 10% of the foods that were something that can help curb my cravings. For example, I had low fat cookies, I had protein bars, just the sweetness that's going to help you so you're not feeling like you are derailing from your, for example, your weight loss plan. So these are definitely something that's going to help you a lot, because you also want to make sure you are prepping a lot of the food throughout the week. So I always find that cooking chicken is something that is taking most time. So having chicken prepared, like 2-3 kilos of frozen chicken, I put it into the oven for 40 minutes. Bam, I have chicken for the whole week. And some veggies and pasta, I'm just cooking them sometimes for 1 day or 2 times a week. And it's definitely going to help you with being on your weight loss journey and having progress all the time instead of just derailing yourself. I would love to know what is your biggest takeaway from the video so far. Just comment below and let me know. So the next habit to create a minimalistic and also successful environment to lose weight was having a great digital setup. That basically just means that you are turning off all your social media notifications, because it can sometimes just take away all the time that you have throughout the day to focus on the stuff that you really need. Because I'm guilty of someone who's just being on Instagram and then I'm just seeing a lot of funny videos and other things, but it's not going to serve you in the long run. For example, if you have a busy day and you're just getting derailed by all the shit that is going on social media, you're not using your time wisely. So it's not about not having time, it's about creating more time. And also making sure that I have my calendar mapped out, so I of course need to focusing on the work, and then I have 5 times a week where I have to get my ass to the gym, working out, and also having enough time to go through the exercises, and also making sure that I am looking at videos if I have some new exercise, because it just takes longer time to be patient with that. Also doing the 20-30 minutes of cardio on a stationary bike on a cross trainer, and you also want to have like an intensity of 120-150, because if you're just on a treadmill and you're just talking with a friend and you're not burning as many calories as possible. Cardio is basically just a way to accelerate your fat loss, and if you are already having your walking the 10,000 steps and you have your diet in check, that's all good. You will lose a lot of weight, but eventually you're just hitting weight loss plateaus, so you are introducing cardio like wisely. So 3 sessions a week, that's fine. And eventually if you hit weight loss plateaus, aim it up to 4 or 5 times. And I was also having a lot of energy in the morning, so I was always putting my workouts in the beginning, like before I was going to college or work, because that was also very peaceful when you are going to the gym and you are knowing that, like myself, I didn't want to be at the gym when there was like rush hour after work. So I was just having a lot more time in the morning. It's very peaceful working out in the morning. And you can, for example, go with your friend where you can just hit up and just make it something that is making you accountable, showing up. So you are having someone who can support you. And I was also going to work with not taking the car, but just working, taking the steps, because you're going to kill a lot of steps throughout the day and not going to the elevator. So you're going to have a lot of steps that you can cover throughout this way of doing things. And I was also taking a lot of daily reminders for me when I was trying to lose weight, because I know that cravings was definitely my biggest enemy, because I was having cravings all the time in the beginning, but eventually I started to manage it wisely with having notification in the morning, like why do I even want to lose weight, and also in the afternoon and in the evening before I go to sleep. So having regular reminders of why you want to lose weight, and eventually you'll just understand that if you're looking at some piece of cake, you are already being reminded that you need to focusing on why you want to lose weight. For me, I was very uncomfortable in my body. I felt like having no energy when I was going for walks, and I loved dancing and playing soccer, but I felt so heavy in my body, and I also hated that I was not breathing so good, and I was not fitting any of the clothes that I wanted, and I was missing out on so many career opportunities and having a lack of confidence when I was talking with clients and doing presentations. And I really felt like embarrassed looking myself in the pictures. So I really want to put my shit together to make this work this time. And I was also having something with free meals. So I was, for example, having one time a week where I was going out with my family and we were having a nice meal, not thinking so much about what we were eating, because it's something with, if you are in a calorie deficit throughout the week or a couple of weeks, your metabolism, it starts with being very high, and because you're just in a calorie deficit, you're just not getting as many calories that you need to keep your metabolism good. So it just decreases, and eventually when you are starting to increase your calories with a high carb meal again, like the free meal that I mentioned, you are going to amp up your metabolism, so it's going to fire away and you lose weight even faster. And a good signal that it works for you is that you're feeling very hungry the next couple of days. So that's a good tell sign. And also you're looking way leaner. Is that you need to have a very honest and supportive talk with your family, your girlfriend, and also just your friends. Because if you're someone who's always been someone who really wants to please your friends, but this time you're doing it for yourself. Because when I was trying to lose the weight, I really hated how I look in the mirror and pictures. I was feeling like I had flaps all over the places, and it felt so embarrassing just putting on clothes and going to events or saying no to so many events because I just didn't feel comfortable in my body. When people were taking pictures of me, I was just looking away, or I had a lot of health issues with just feeling out of breath when I was just going for a walk and feeling like I was losing weight, I would keep gaining it back. I felt so frustrated. It really fucked up my positivity and not being so happy. And when I was doing the presentations at work, I felt so anxious about doing it all the time, and also just feeling like I was so heavy. I was not being asked if I want to go on business trips because being so heavy, it was just meaning that I was not up for the task. So the employer just had no confidence in me. So I missed out on so many career opportunities. I had diabetes, high blood pressure. So just really to have an honest conversation with your family, and also just make sure that you are not always doing things with your friends that is around the food. Just because you are with friends, you don't need to eat all the time. You can go for walks, you can play sports, you can watch movies, you can do games, or you can even just have a nice chat on the coffee place, just talking, drink some water, a Diet Coke, or some coffee without some all kind of sugar. So that's definitely what I recommend. And these three habits were definitely something that helped me create a very successful environment. So if you're someone who had the heaviest weight you've ever been, you've been stuck with losing the weight and gaining the same weight back all the time for decades, and you really want to lose the weight for good and become the healthiest version of yourself, just like I did myself in the beginning of the video with the transformation pictures, there's actually a link in the description and also in the comment section where you can click that link and apply for coaching with me, and we'll see if you're fit to work with me, and we'll just build a game plan to help you lose the weight for good. Bye.